Good afternoon and welcome to NTA Channel 5 News at 1 p.m. I am Aisha Oba Ali. Public servants in the Federal Capital Territory resumed the work with a commitment to be more dedicated to their duties. Ayenaji Auta brings us the situation report.
At the Federal Secretariat, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 8:30 a.m., NTA News crew discovered that the turnout of public servants resuming work after the Easter holiday was low. All efforts made to speak with most of them or even access their offices proved abortive, except for Mr. Abdulrazak Yusuf, who later agreed to speak.
With the population I'm seeing, I think it's impressive. And I have been in the office for more than 1 hour ago now. While going to my office, I've seen so many people coming in, opening their doors. I saw cleaners cleaning here and there, both the private cleaners. I saw most offices opening, and I've seen some few people. You can see yourself, people keep coming. And I've seen joy in people coming in because I think what gives most of us joy is because we're able to got our salary before Easter.
The story was not any different at the Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC, where most of the offices were under lock and key, except few offices opened, with just few staff at work.
I was paid before I went for my break, so I enjoyed it. And everybody around me enjoyed it too. And that's why I can see me very happy coming to work, very happy, very excited to resume work. They have rested enough. Sooner or later, all of them will be there. They'll be on their day. I mean, they are the duty test.
Despite the fact that the turnout of workers is low, however, commercial activities are beginning to pick up, judging by the number of vehicles on the road. Ayenaji Auta, NTA News.
Now, figures from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as of 4th April 2021, indicates new cases, of COVID-19 in the FCT, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 19,667, while active cases stand at 1,433, and the number of discharged cases in the territory now stands at 18,072, and sad enough, 164 deaths have been recorded in the Federal Capital Territory. The FCT Primary Health Care Board has commenced vaccination for members of the Nigerian Union of Journalists, FCT chapter. Senior Special Assistant on Media to the Minister Sani Abubakar disclosed that the exercise is to enhance public confidence on the vaccine. Shoaibu Onoze Yakubu tells us more.
FCT Minister Muhammad Musa Bello, represented by the Senior Special Assistant on Media and Strategic Communications, Abubakar Sani, notes that the vaccination of journalists became imperative as they are considered as frontline workers.
The FCT Minister Malam Muhammad Musa Bello considers journalists as very strong partners in the FCT project. As the COVID-19 rages in the FCT, we are all living witnesses to the effort that journalists have been making to report the incidence of this disease.
Chairman FCT NUJ Emmanuel Ogbeche revealed that over 100 journalists registered to take the vaccine and commended the FCT administration for the support.
Before I knew it, the jab had been given without feeling much anything. Well, but by and large, let me commend the FCT administration for taking it to the journalism community.
I want to encourage my fellow women, especially the Nigerian women at the markets level, at the grassroots, at every level, that we should come out en masse and be vaccinated.
Meanwhile, the leadership of the FCT NUJ promised to sensitize other members who are yet to take the vaccine to come forward to take the jab, as it is safe for all. Shoaibu Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
On the implementation of resident doctors' demands, FCT residents have continued to appeal to the federal government to address the lingering issues that led to the disruption of clinical services in government hospitals. Deborah Gazaji Maika, who was at the Asokoro and Wuse District Hospital, has the situation report.
As at the time of our visit to Wuse District Hospital, We learned there were skeletal activities.
People are dying. I still read last week of a woman who in delivery, and it was a complicated case. There were no consultants, and the resident doctors, of course, they were on strike. So nurses, nobody could attend to the woman. Mother and child died because doctors were on strike.
Just talk to them, liaise with them, because the more they save lives, the better for everybody. And this is not the time that they have to go on strike. So whatever reason, they should try to liaise with each other and sort it once and for all, so that they can go back to work.
Despite the ongoing resident doctor strike, here at the Asokoro District Hospital, both in and out patients were not left alone as they were seen receiving attention.
The yearning of Nigerians to see a sanitized open drug market is gradually becoming a reality as the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria is on top gear to ensure Nigeria is free of adulterated drugs. The report. In 2005, the federal government, through the National Drug Distribution Guidelines, gave directive to shut down all open drug pharmacies in marketplaces, but this did not yield much result. However, the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria, in the same vein, initiated the coordinated wholesale centers as a strategy to checkmate effective drug distribution chain.
The move by government is a move in the right direction. It's good, but sometimes it's easier to come and give press conference and say, yeah, we are doing this, we are doing that, but the follow-up and the implementation is always a problem.
It will make our society to be free from drug abuse. It will make our society to have a healthy youth that will take the affairs of this country. Because if youth are into drugs, it's hardly for a youth to even govern his own family, not to talk of the community or the country at large.
To this vein, Nigerians are impressed by government laudable programs and policies, but have a need to enforce and implement these policies.
That those individuals must comply to the laws of the land. It's no longer business as usual. The issue of fake drugs has been with us for a long time. The issue of uncoordinated supplies of drugs to illegal premises, illegal individuals, criminalities and all the rest are consequences of these things. And most of these things have been traced to the Onitsha Head Bridge markets. And the individuals there, they know what they are doing, and they don't want to move.
Elijah Mohammed of the Pharmaceutical Council of Nigeria recommend the need to enact the pharmacy law. Following the rumor making the round that Nigerians are being extorted for national identification number registration, Odiri Oguru Arutere sampled the opinions of some residents on how true the allegation is.
A lot of people that say that after they done their own, they will come back. Some of them will tell you that I pay 1.5. Some of them will tell you that they pay 2,000 naira. Even here, right here in Durumi too. So there is a particular place, and someone told me that he pay money for him to be captured and all those things.
Say now 112. So me I be widow. I don't carry if I want to. Say my children I get money, I'm registered, I'm not born maybe now.
The first person that I met, he told me that if I want to get it done earlier, I should pay money. He demanded for 5,000 naira. Same thing with the second person that I asked.
The recent development of linking phone numbers to National Identification Number (NIN) necessitated the rush by Nigerians to register before losing their SIM cards. With the deadline order by the federal government to stop the registration of phone numbers with the NIN, many still feel adamant to visit the agency for updates. While some allege to have been extorted, others say they did not pay a dime to anyone before being registered.
During our time, nobody asked for any money. Maybe now that people are trying to hurry and get it done, but we had ours about, say, 4 or 5 months back.
I went to Users on 2. There's the center there, opposite the Catholic Church. So they asked me whether I have enrolled before. I said no. They now asked me whether I have BVN. I said yes. They asked me the digit. I told them. They said okay. It's not what they can rectify there. I should come to zone 3. It's here that they will rectify it for me. And nobody asked for anything from me.
Head of Enrollment of the National Identification Management Commission, Tani Bemisola, refutes the allegation.
In our centers here, we don't collect money. The only charges you pay is for reprint or modification of your data. When you want to modify your data, you want to change your name, you want to change there's a mistake in your date of birth, you want to change, you pay. For change of name is the same as reprint. You pay 500 to NIMSI. You understand, with all these other charges. But for change of date of birth, it's 15,000. It's the same process you pay through remitter.
The ongoing NIN registration is expected to expire on the 6th of May 2021. In Abuja, Odiri Ogboru, Arutere, NTA News.
For your household, there are trash to be discarded. But for scavengers and a couple of recyclers, they are raw wealth, which can be processed into other useful products. This is the story of waste recyclers within the Federal Capital Territory. At a period, the campaign for waste management towards ending global warming is high. INRJ out to track them and brings us this story.
Within the Abuja city, everywhere is clean. But in the suburbs, sanitation is not at its best. That is where plastic cans, waste papers, cellophane bags are seen littered on the streets and gutters. Waste to wealth anchored on dignity in labor will simply summarize the story of these people. They gave themselves a simple task, and that is to keep the environment clean while earning extra living from it.
When we finish our work, instead to go and make noise and go and do what you're not supposed to do and go and borrow money because of transport. From inside here we go see our soup. From inside here we go see soap before month ends. Let them pay us. I guess some women myself, when you begin to introduce, they go say, suffering, labor. They don't want to. Us, where would they do this? You go see some, they go say, I beg, give me this. I no get this.
The Abuja Environmental Protection Board supports this venture as they see it as part of individual efforts towards reducing environmental hazards.
We carefully manage them, so we have also sensitized them on the mode of operation at the dump site to see that there is no danger to them.
There are other waste recycling organizations that provide jobs for some residents, as most of the wastes are gathered in by scavengers.
Roughly, we have almost 11 women here, but still, with time, if we can get what we want, we wanted to employ more women. But for now, for the small water rubber, we just have only one machine.
These are measures put in by individuals to manage solid waste. However, FCT administration is in the front line to check the excess value reorientation anchored on workshops and seminars that will encourage solid waste management to curb environmental degradation.
FCT administration is reiterating the readiness to do all that is necessary to join hands with partners to fight the challenges of waste management and to put in place the needed framework to preserve our environment. While commending the West Africa and its Protect 10,000 initiative, a pro-poor social program designed to provide social inclusion and protection for waste pickers.
The current vibrant Honorable Minister of Environment has provided a proposed legislations that can be able to take care of the plastic waste specifically. And the Federal Executive Council has graciously approved that proposed legislation by the minister. So what I'm trying to say is there is a hope for management of plastic waste in Nigeria, because that legislation centered plastic waste.
All these efforts are geared towards keeping Abuja clean and also making money through recycling of materials got while cleaning up. INRJ Outer.
You're still watching NTA5 News at 1 p.m. We'll be back after this break.
General
Hold it! Me, I don't come out my hand from oil bunkering.
General, what you going to yarn? What did the yarn serve? I don't understand though.
Because they spoil our water and our environment. And they cause our people serious harm. Militants is said, you know good. Me, I not do again Sam. Because why? Change begins with me.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Staff of the Federal Capital Territory Administration under the umbrella of the Joint Unions Action Committee, JUAC, have concluded arrangement to embark on an indefinite strike over the non-implementation of FCT Civil Service Commission Act. JUAC Chairman Matilo Korede disclosed this in an exclusive interview with Shaibu Onozi Yakubu. The report.
The FCT Civil Service Commission Act, signed 3 years ago by President Muhammadu Buhari, seeks to, among others, enable workers in the FCT to advance in the administrative cadre like their counterparts in state. Chairman of JUAC, Matilu Korode, says the planned indefinite strike by the FCT workers is as a result of the non-implementation of the FCT Civil Service Commission Act, Order 1 of 2004, which makes the FCT workers to remain under administrative limitations that will not allow them grow in their administrative career.
They have declared a 3 days warning strike. By the grace of God, it started on Thursday. Today is the second day, and tomorrow is the last day. By the close of work tomorrow, if nothing is done, then we'll be forced to go on an indefinite strike. And by indefinite, we mean that we will gradually shut down FCTA by the grace of God. And just when we were struggling with that, persuading management, do this restructuring so that our staff that are stagnated, because since 2004, our career have been pegged at the directorate level. And we feel that this is not fair, even to us as a staff, because our directors don't have opportunity of competing with their contemporaries at the federal level. It then means that since 2004 to date, you wouldn't have seen any of our staff becoming the permanent secretary.
Meanwhile, the 3-day warning strike currently ongoing by JUAC will elapse on Wednesday, 7th April 2021. Joint Union Action Committee is an umbrella body for FCTA and FCDA staff. Shaibu Onozi Yakubu, NTA News.
As salt of the earth, the youth must live a life of sacrifice, just as Jesus did on the cross, delivering this message through the language of the youth, hip-hop. Youth of Ekwa Central area say Nigerian youth should unite and impact positively on the society. Miriam George Jutabo has the details.
With a strong belief that the youths can be the change Nigeria is yearning for, these musicians use the hip-hop to remind the youths on the ultimate sacrifice Jesus paid on the cross, urging them to exemplify the teachings and lifestyle of Jesus Christ.
The resurrection of Christ is an assurance of your salvation.
But it's a period to reflect on the price that was paid and the privileges we have in the death and resurrection of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Hip-hop is a culture that is actually evoking. We want to use it to advocate or to advance the kingdom of God.
We are here to honor God and honor Christ and to thank Him also for what He has done in our lives.
Excited and steered towards music, and this is an avenue to share the gospel of Jesus.
Put this together, trust me, this is God's engineering, and I'm so proud, I'm so happy to be a part of it.
The event was titled Irrecoverable Easter Hip Hop Night. Mariam George Jitubo, NTA News.
Identifying and recognizing the potent role of sport in communities and individual lives informed the decision of the International Day of Sport for Development and Peace, observed on April 6 every year. Abdullahi Ajia reports that a non-governmental organization, I'm the Child, is taking advantage of this day to inculcate in the youth the values of unity, peace and tolerance in Abuja.
Sport brings people together, regardless of their background, regardless of their race, regardless even of their language. Sport is always about building bridges.
On this day, since 2013, the global community has always celebrated the strength and contribution of sports to development and peace building. With this year's focus on exploring the place of sports in the recovery from the coronavirus pandemic and beyond, organizations like the I'm the Child is using the ideals of the day to relate with the less privileged children at the new Kuchigoro IDP's camp by organizing a novelty football match.
Discovered that soccer is an enabler of peace, and that's why we decided to choose soccer to mark United Nations International Day of Sports for Peace and Development, so that we can preach peace. You know, these children are victims of violence. We want to preach peace to them and through them to the entire country.
Beyond the football match, which the day also encourages, the non-governmental organization is also concerned about building bridges of unity, team spirit and inspiring hope in the younger generation.
Objectives of the foundation is centered around child education and child welfare development, and we are achieving our objectives through 3 main projects: summer school for internally displaced children, literacy clinic, and Come to Class scholarship fund.
Stakeholders believe that sports contribute hugely to the realization of sustainable development and the advancement of human rights, as it is also a catalyst for social inclusion and empowerment, advising governments and corporate organizations to support sports development. Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Still on sports, Team Bayelsa, Edo, Kwara and Lagos clinched medals at the ongoing 20th National Sports Festival in Benin as former England wicket-keeper Sarah Taylor returns to the scene for the 100th inaugural competition. Rashidat Balugu has more on Sports Brief.
Downpour on Monday disrupted some outdoor activities, including swimming, tennis, among others, at the ongoing 20th National Sport Festival in Benin. Nevertheless, Edo beat Kwara and Lagos to silver and bronze medals, respectively, to claim the gold medal of 6-a-side cricket event at the festival. Meanwhile, the medal reign for Team Bayelsa continued at the festival with a total of 9 medals comprising 4 gold, 3 silver and 2 bronze medals. Still on the festival, today the Edo 2020 festival will be declared open with high-profile government officials at the federal and state level expected to be at the official opening ceremony. Nigeria will participate in their 9th African Women Handball Championship. The last time the women's national team qualified for the championship was in 1994 when they came 5th. This year they have been paired in Group B of the 24th African Women Handball Championship alongside host Cameroon, DR Congo and Kenya. In cricket, former England wicket-keeper Sarah Taylor is set to play professional cricket for the first time since 2019 after joining Welsh Fire for the new 100 competition. Taylor, widely regarded as one of the best wicket-keepers of all time, won 2 50-over World Cups and 1 T20 World Cup during her 13-year international career. With Sport Brief, Rashidat Balogun, NTA News.
COVID-19 vaccine is free. Please avail yourself the opportunity to be vaccinated. It is the effective way of curtailing the spread of the virus. That wraps the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5. I am Aisha Oba Ali. Good afternoon.